Hi everyone, it's Scarlett and welcome back to my channel. So last week I talked about picking out titles for your book baby and the things you might want to consider. If you haven't seen the video, shame on you. And fret not, I have the link in the description box below. Check it out. And at the end of that video, I told you 3 title options for my current work in progress. And that kind of got me thinking, how many of you guys actually know what my book is about? Awkward. So I figured, why not make my next video about me? Cause I'm a selfish asshole. Just kidding, this video is actually not gonna be about me, but rather my book baby. I wanna tell you guys all about it. So if you guys got excited there for a second, I'm sorry. And if you didn't, what the hell? For those of you that watch my channel for my adorkable qualities and my overall awkward way of sharing writing advice, I'm sorry, you'll just have to bear with me through this video and wait for my following ones. And while I might not be sharing writing advice, trust me, this video is going to be ripe with that adorkableness that you all know and love. And just a little bit of a disclaimer here, I'm actually overwhelmingly nervous about posting this video. I love my book so much, like a crazy amount, and I know you guys all know what I mean by that. And I just want to share my book with you guys and explain it and do it justice, and I'm just so nervous that this video is going to crash and burn, and I don't want it to because I want the world to love my book as much as I do, and I want to share it in the best light possible, so no pressure, right? Alright, to start off, I just want to let everyone know that I'm still struggling between figuring out the perfect title for my book. I am stuck between All the Oceans in His Eyes and simply His Blue Eyes. On all of my work in progress documents and pieces and manuscript and outline, everything like that, I have All the Oceans in His Eyes. However, when I talk about my book on social media, I'm always calling it His Blue Eyes. Therefore, to save everyone a world of confusion, I am just going to simply call it His Blue Eyes in this video. My novel is a young adult general fiction with LGBT romance and a dash of drama. So if you are looking for skull crushing and sword fights and battles to the death and dragons, so sorry, you might as well look elsewhere. You're not going to find it in this book. The themes that surround my book include coming of age, escapism, freedom, and self-love and acceptance. As for my main character, the story revolves around 18-year-old Angus DeLorme. Due to his traumatic and sordid past, Angus has grown to be a very quiet and withdrawn person. His past has shaped him to become quite closed off and jaded. If anyone should try to brave the walls he built around himself as well as break the permanent frown on his face, the result is usually never good. It usually ends with further frowning and snarky comments and sarcasm. Angus is my main character, however, there are plenty of other fantastic characters in my book. The second most important character is Jackson Trix, aka Blue Eyes. Jackson is the 18-year-old handsome goofball that is the star athlete on the soccer team at the school, and he is the one that everyone seems to just fawn over and love, and he doesn't seem to have a bad bone in his body. He's like abnormally nice. It's weird. Kyle Smith is Jackson's best friend and generally known as the class clown. He is not fond of Angus and is not afraid of letting the world know about it. Now, while Kyle is the bully in my story, I want to let it be known that he is not the villain. My story doesn't necessarily have a human villain. I've made that known on Twitter a couple times, but I just want to let everyone know again, no sword fights. No bloodlust revenge, okay? Moving on with the characters, I have Miss Fink, who is Angus's art teacher at school. She is the one that is practically begging Angus to apply to a post-secondary art school to further his talent. And sometimes Angus believes that she is the only one that is truly rooting for him. There's Liza, Angus's mother, and the person that is basically holding his entire family together with her bare hands. Angus doesn't know how she does it, and sometimes he wonders why she does it. Lastly, we have Frank, Angus's father, and a man struggling with his own sort of demons. He and Angus don't exactly get along, and while Angus would like to believe it's because they have nothing in common, secretly deep down he knows that it's actually the exact opposite. My story has a lot more interesting characters that I would love to talk about, however, I want to save some for the imagination, so I'm going to keep a couple of them secret for now. On to the storyline. Life hasn't exactly been easy for Angus. He's been struck with chronic bad luck, and he always has a knack for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, mixing with the wrong crowds, and falling in love with the wrong people. When Angus is at the climax of his bad luck, his parents decide the best thing to do for him is to completely rip out their roots in Seattle and move to a tiny little place in Canada that is damn near a ghost town, right in the middle of his final year at high school. Great. As if his life was not complicated enough. Now, stranded in the chipper village of Barnaby Creek, where everybody knows everybody, gossip is a religion, and wearing black is damn near a sin, Angus is well aware that he sticks out like a sore thumb with his dark attire and even darker attitude. And on the off days that he tends to forget, his anxiety-riddled brain likes to remind him in very loud, obnoxious ways. Barnaby Creek is sort of a Plan Z for the DeLormes. With Angus's bad luck, the move, and other family dynamics causing ripples, the DeLormes are dangerously close to nearing the end of their fraying rope. It's kind of an elephant in the room. They know it's there, it's awkward as fuck to maneuver around, but they pretend it's the size of a mouse and about as harmless as one. 'Cause that's healthy. To make matters worse, it's becoming increasingly apparent to Angus that he can't simply run away from his problems. With the ghosts of his past constantly making guest appearances in the forms of letters and phone calls, Angus feels his grip on reality and the future slipping right through his fingers. And just when he thinks that he's let go of his problems, they reel him right back in. The only thing that seems to bring Angus joy anymore is his art. And even then, the escape is minute. Sometimes he needs to take more drastic measures to find relief. And trust me, they're not exactly ideal. His art teacher dreams of university for him. But Angus thinks the idea is about as far-fetched as waking up one morning and deciding to wear something other than black. Impossible. Enter Jackson Tricks, star soccer player of the Barnaby Creek Barracudas and most popular student at school. And of course, he has a sudden interest in Angus. So, Angus's plan of being invisible in his senior year of high school is proving to be quite difficult on account of Jackson's mission to befriend him, despite the repetitive rejections. The thing is, when he's with Jackson, Angus feels like he can finally breathe again. Like he had been holding his breath for way too long, and Jackson's the fresh air that he needed. Things are reawakened within him, feelings that he had buried and forgotten. But he had been burned before, and the idea of getting close to someone seemed to be dangerous ground to tread on again. Ground that Angus wasn't sure he wanted to be standing on. The only thing that Angus is absolutely 100% certain of is that when he's with Jackson, his mind is quiet. No loud, obnoxious voices. No begging for another hit of brief numbness. Nothing. A beautiful silence. Could Angus afford to let him in? Or would the ground break beneath his feet, and it would be the worst decision he ever made? And there you have it. That is my short and somewhat bittersweet explanation of my current work in progress, His Blue Eyes. If you guys have questions or you want further details, please let me know. I love talking about my book, because I'm a writer. There are other things about my book that I would love to tell you guys about, however, that would make this video way too long, so I will maybe save them for a part 2 of Meet My Book that I can share with you guys down the road. Also, I want to give you lovely people a heads up that I won't be able to do a video next week on account of a sudden surge of busy personal life and not being in an area that has Wi-Fi. However, I will be back hopefully the following week, so please don't miss me too much. With that said, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I post new vlogs every Thursday. If there's something you want me to talk about or discuss, or even if you want to drop a line and just say hi, you can message me on here or tweet me at Scarlet Stone. As always, I have my little linky-loo swimming down there in the description box for you. If you want to check out my Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, website, all that fun stuff, you know where to find them. Until next time, happy writing. Bye!